All right, so I'd like to bring up that Sky was a bounty player in Pro Play Summit Dallas there.
Oh, in
So,
Dallas, right. I
you
was
know,
like,
here he is, back at it. And there's a lot at stake here. We are playing for a finals. And in that finals, we are playing for a continental invite. Number one, first person.
first person in NA to get a Continental's invite from a CCQ. And that is so exciting as we see JDZ's favorite card this set go into the Inkwell for a turn 1 Basil.
Yeah, this wonderful detective here has done so much work this weekend. It is probably supported more characters in this weekend alone than any other character has supported in the history of the game.
He is a practice detective, so he seems like he would be quite supportive.
Very true. And we have there Sven into the wonderful reindeer. All right, I love reindeers.
Sven, this card is so good. I know that Boomy Jr., shout out, when I was trying to learn kind of a more aggro Amber Steel style, it was completely counterintuitive to everything that I had ever learned about playing Disney Lorcana. But Sven is one of the cards where he's like, Sven is good.
Yeah.
Sven is very, very good. So it's nice to kind of see that back in a deck.
And this Mulan, I think, at this point in the metagame, right, it might have not been a card that was in there week 1 or week 2, but now we're getting there. We're scripting our games. We know what cards we need in the specific matchups. Playing Mulan on turn 1 gives you the ability to script those hands, get the cards that you need in your hand so you can definitely move forward in the game.
Yeah, we do see, sculpting your hand is extremely important. Again, like you said, we know what we're looking for. And right here, we inked a Visions, and then we went ahead and put a Tipo. So now we know that they've looked at each other's lists. We've been here for a day now. We know what's going on. So we go ahead and throw that Tipo onto the board to potentially come in and maybe take out that Mulan or even Hypnotic Strength or with the Basil itself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can do, and you really want to be playing to the board because we know that Sky is about to go wide.
Right. And it's notable here, what could come up in this particular matchup is that Jordan has 3 copies of Second Star to hit right in the deck.
That's a lot.
That's not, that might be really good in the mirror. I don't know how good it is against Amber Steel.
Right. Well, we do see a Fire the Cannons come down and get rid of that Basil, which is huge for this matchup. And we don't, we'd see the Aurora come next. So hopefully we'll get a discounted Tiana, potentially. I can't really see what's in the hand there, but that would definitely be very good for Sky. Get that Tiana on the board and then potentially play another 1-drop as well next turn. We do see the Basil go down with the Fire the Cannons, which is a choice. Some people play it, some people don't, but I love seeing it. I love seeing it in deck, especially in this meta.
It's, listen, when there's a lot of good one-cost characters out there that are just sitting on the board, Fire the Cannons gets the job done. It's cheap, it's efficient, and it really keeps you kind of on your strategy just moving forward. As long as your characters get to stay and play longer, all the better.
Yeah, and we did see, went ahead and bounced that Tipo with our elephant there and putting it back to hand. But it seems like they did play that out, play the Basil, play the Tipo, and just in case one of them gets fires the cannons, we'd still have a target for Madame Mim Elephant. Otherwise, Mim just kind of rots in your hand because she banishes herself if you go ahead and decide to throw her on the board a little too early without any friends.
And what is notable about that last turn,
Lady
Sky decided to quest with that Milan, and he did get the extra lore. The Tipo did not trade. That's we're talking about getting the 20. We've seen a Amber Steel deck lose today on stream on 19 twice. So that extra lore right there could be, it might play dividends in a few turns.
Absolutely, and it does make sense too. Like if you were to take that Tipo trade and then he had Fire the Cannons for Basil, again, that makes that Mim Elephant look real just bad. It looks just bad in your hand. And again, now like that's living a little bit longer, so now we can have our Lady Sing Strength next turn if he decides to play a Genie this turn, which is typically what Blurple wants to do around this much ink.
Yeah, and Sky here has 6 lore in play. He decided to stand tall. My guess is we're looking to, establish a Pluto, establish a bodyguard, kind of protect the board. And really, if there's no Elsa here, he ends up getting a lot of additional lore just by doing that.
Oh yeah, Elsa's pretty much needed, and I don't think I see one. I do see the Into the Unknown kind of combo for the Tiana if the Tiana were to come down next turn. But we did see that we're doing a little table math where we're tippity tapping, and then we have a bell with no value.
Yeah, and I think this is important to note though, because if we didn't put a 4-cost, a 5-cost 4/4 in play right now, and we just pass the turn, we're pretty much praying that we end up being able to use the bell, where I think stats are really important in the matchup.
Yes, definitely. But at this point now, she's a 4/4, and so Lady can go ahead and sing that Strength of a Raging Fire and get rid of her as if she were never here. But I think we really, really needed that Elsa,
There
unfortunately.
it is. There's our
And
Pluto.
missing Elsa on 5 ink.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
we do get a Dumbo, so we get a card in hand. We take the wonderful present from Daisy Duck there.
yeah, go ahead
And we had
there
it.
it is.
The last
Yep.
card in the hand was the Strength of Raging Fire. That is a massive hand here. But
Yep.
now we're playing War. You know, Sky has 0 cards in hand. He is very hopeful to draw a dock very soon.
I know. Usually it's like they always have it. They always have it. Or Doc is floating very close to the surface because not for me as an Amber Steel player, not for me. I don't get to draw a Doc. Or they draw 4 Docs at a time. But this is Sky. Sky's on Maelstrom. Sky has that plot armor going on for him this season. Doc off the top, not impossible. I see it.
Yeah. And here, you know, I think there are several Into the Unknowns in the hand. There's definitely choices here. We can we can get rid of Pluto, not have to take 5 damage, and then get rid of a lady, remove the Singer, and leave 3 1-cost characters. And we're pretty much just saying, all right, Sky, what do you have next?
Yeah, that does. I mean, I think we'll end up having to ink the Dumbo just to be able to play both Into the Unknowns and then go ahead and challenge in, get rid of possibly the Aurora at that point. Or probably the lady. Let's get rid of the lady.
Yeah, I think, well, the big
No, the
deal.
Aurora. Ooh.
The big deal, right, is if you can get rid of Lady here, we can put 2 damage on, and then the next turn we can move that 2 damage and get rid of Aurora, get rid of Mulan, kind of do whatever. We also leave the Daisy Duck here. Listen, hey, if he wants the quest again, give us another card, you take those. Is it it? Is this it? Are we the best?
I was about to say, he exerted
okay.
too.
All right.
I know.
I was like,
Or is
oh,
it-
man, we did it already? We established the drastic measures?
He's like, let me see what.
And we picked up an elephant.
Okay. Yeah, Daisy has been hitting for Jordan and not bottomed anything yet. We
Listen,
saw.
I like presents.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm a
so
big
does
fan of
Jordan.
presents.
Absolutely, that's working really well for Jordan. So now, what are we going to do? So we're just going to go ahead and quest, and we're going to pass.
Yeah,
we're going to
and
leave a mystery card.
I think that this is okay, in all honesty. So he decides here to move the 2 damage to Daisy, which now removing the lore from play. That's the big takeaway here. We have TikTok, big character. Another elephant, the Dumbo that remained in hand, and of course that Hades. So really, with that type of hand, you have nothing but gas. And right now, Sky only getting to 9 at this point in the game could be difficult to get to that finish line.
I think we're trying to figure out what are we inking here? Because we do have another elephant in hand, but we also have a Dumbo. And do we keep the elephant? Do we play the TikTok? Yeah, that's the kind of the thing is like if we establish now an evasive this turn, we can throw a Dumbo next turn once we both get the board a little bit more controlled, and then we can use that Dumbo effect on the TikTok as well.
All right,
so those were some cards that he threw down all at one time, and that's what this deck does.
Yeah.
Again, now we're only at 11.
We got to 11.
Yeah,
it's
it's not too high, especially since we do have that extra Into the Unknown sitting in hand.
Yeah. So it looks like we pass back. Jordan is deciding to get rid of the Mulan with the move damage from the Madame Mim elephant there. And now, you know, obviously this Aurora, not long for this world.
No, she's holding court, but she's about to be holding it down into the discard.
We got elephants. We got alligators. We're ready to go.
She wasn't ready. She was ready for princesses. She wasn't ready for this zoo and the literal Lord of the Dead onto our threat there. And so now we just kind of cleaned up this board, and now our game plan is zooming again. Next time, we can still throw down that Dumbo and start refilling our hand. I know that we have second star on the right now.
Penny?
We have plenty of singers for our second star on the right, as we do see Penny come down, give Troubadour resist 1.
It could give it to itself.
It's fine. I don't know if that's what I would do. It's just, Troubadour.
So if you give it
resist
to
1,
yourself,
resist 2.
if you give it to yourself, you're a little less worried
And it
about.
elephant moves damage,
Yeah, of
so that
course.
resist means nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately. But hey, Madame Mim Elephant making a huge impact early on in the metagame. One of those cards that I don't think was on the radar until week 1, week 2, and pretty much everyone was like, hey, we should be playing this card.
It's a very, very good card. Yeah, it came out of the gate, and you're like, oh, okay, like just a little baby too. And you're like, wait, this card does what? Yeah, and all of a sudden it just it messes up combat math. It messes up a bunch of little things here and there, and then you're like, till the start of my next turn.
Yep.
So here we go.
I don't think Resist 2 is good enough for TikTok.
Yeah, it seems like TikTok had a bone to pick with that turtle, and that was the end of it. So okay, so I was like, well, we inked the Dumbo because we found another Dumbo, of course.
And we got to pick up the Hades there. So right now, Sky is very much on a whim. We need some drastic measures. We need Doc Bold Knight to get back into this game to just establish multiple threats.
And
with
that's a
Hades
Mulan in hand.
We're in trouble.
That's a Mulan.
Is that the thought here? We're in danger.
We're in danger. We're going
14 it
past, aren't we?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, maybe Sky is kind of like we saw him do it the last turn where he waited a turn and then he threw double down.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe typically he's trying to build that up again
Yeah,
to maybe like this and bodyguard to have like a little bit more of a board presence instead of you just being like, here, play an Elsa on the thing that I just played and then knock it out and ruin my whole day.
Yeah, it's certainly more difficult on average for these decks to answer 2 cards in a turn. So if you are able to establish that, like listen, like let's just say he drew a lady for an example. What if the next card is a dock and we get to go lady into dock, draw 2 more cards, and then really threaten the game here? We're on
Absolutely.
14, so if all of a sudden we can just slam 6 lore into play, then we have a chance to just like steal a victory here.
Yeah, it's definitely looking pretty good for Jordan. It looks about the part. Yep. Okay. It wasn't as bad. It was still bad. It was 2-1 cost. So we're gonna give TikTok minus. Oh no, we could give the elephant. It doesn't really matter at this point. You know.
Just anything.
I just do it to the Dumbo just for spite.
Yeah.
That Dumbo is -2. That's a 1/3. Don't you dare.
It's okay. It's gonna gain its lore, draw its card anyway.
Gain 1, draw 1. Yeah.
TikTok also doing it, really just showing the strength of Dumbo in here.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is like I know that a lot of people.
Wonder of the universe.
He is 9th, yes, and a lot of people have their reservations about Dumbo, it being the card that it is, but it's still. It draws a card, and in this meta, if something says draw a card, that's nuts.
I believe there's only supposed to be 1 damage on the Elsa there, but you know, I'm not sure it's gonna matter too much. You know,
it's a Nala. We're going to quest,
15,
and then we're gonna scoop it up.
I think Jordan had plenty to get that final quest in the 20 there for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of that's what happens. I mean, everybody really kind of dogs aggro, and I know people have their opinions on how the matches should go and how this deck should fit into the meta. But again, that's the way you see it. Like you have such a strong start where you're like, boom, you know, like 1 drop, 2 drop, lady, Daisy, in your face, and then all of a sudden I didn't draw a dock, and now I'm out of gas.
Yeah,
and we're kind of into that like aggro. Oh, I don't know, aggro hell, where you're just like, I pulled 2 rhinos off the top of my deck, and now we go next. So,
yeah, it's kind of one of those, right? Like it's more of a high roll ES deck, and when you get to do the thing, you get to do it better than anyone else. You know, when you have that line of Aurora into Tiana into bodyguard plus a lady plus anything. When you have those decks, you just get to win games, and like a lot of times your opponent is just like, yep, you did your thing. I just didn't have an answer, and that's frustrating. But you also have really that side we just saw. The deck kind of came out. It didn't really pressure the game really all that well, and then didn't draw dock. It just didn't have a way to pressure the game to actually even get anywhere close to the finish line.
We were playing fair aggro as opposed to our new queen, Tiana, coming out, and that's kind of. You want to see that. That's why we put Aurora in there. That's why we threatened that, because we did see at SSG where Zan had his fully kind of like Princess Aurora. He would play Aurora, and he was sitting across the table, and it got Fire the Cannons. And then we just were like, oh no. Oh no, that was it. That was your whole game plan. And here we saw Sky play out his Aurora, and Tiana just never really decided to show up, and it makes a big difference. And again, it's kind of what you said. It is a little high rolly, and of course, Blurple is proving to be one of the most consistent decks in the format at this time. So if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But on the play, we got a little bit more time to get it. Yeah,
and you can see it here. You know, this is a pretty low to the ground opening hand here for Sky. No dock to be found. No lady. That's a lot of 1-cost characters.
I know, and that's the thing is like, used to, especially when you had more Emerald in the meta, like if you had a Strength of a Raging Fire in your opening hand, you're like, oh, I gotta get rid of this, because what if they snipe it and I'm out of here? But now you're like, okay, I got a dock, I have a good curve, I have 2 docks in my hand, I'm gonna throw a dock back, I've got like 3 strengths, screw it, I'm keeping all of them. Okay, maybe not 3, but at the same time, like 2 docks, 2 strengths, and you just win. That's just that's it. Like,
and you can see there, he decides to keep 3 1-cost, ships 4. And he's hoping for it, right? We got to find that 3-cost character. If we have Aurora in our hand, so if we found a Tiana, then we can establish a very early Tiana. And honestly, turn 2 Tiana, there's not much.
It's rough, yeah.
There's not much that Jordan can do against a turn 2 Tiana.
Basil absolutely helps that. So that Basil Tipo line that he kind of went towards is still not enough to get into the Tiana, but at the same time,
you can get into the unknown, maybe.
You can get into the unknown, and that's really where that is. But yeah, again, the perfect thing against that is like you have to have Elsa on 5 ink. You need Elsa on 5 ink.
That's the big deal with Tiana on turn 2, is that's so far away. You are turns and turns and turns
years
away.
From now. Yeah. I know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We got a pretty good hand. I think we do. I mean, we see Tiana, we see Aurora, we see some other cards. They
Yeah,
always flick the cards so fast. I'm like,
I
all
think
right.
what's really interesting
Oof,
here to
Iago.
note is that, you know, obviously I think Daisy on 1 is very, very powerful, but it looks like
Oh,
you could also play Aurora on 1.
yes.
And then Aurora can quest and actually make your Mulan cost 0.
Yeah.
That's not
zero
bad. I like
cost
3
Mulan.
cards.
That's what we did last time. But again, being on the draw, it's pretty slow. It's pretty slow. So unfortunately, if that was that, and then potentially using your Nether Ink to then play Daisy, and then hopefully your next turn is Tiana, or like, you know, reduce cost Tiana at a 1-drop or something like that. So potentially that's why you kept the 3 1-drops to just kind of get us there.
Good choice there. Ink in the Iago, that's the type of card in this matchup that if we decided to play Iago and there was a Fire the Cannons, I think the game might end on the spot.
Yeah, it's just poof, gone. Yeah, Iago. Illusions do not like to be perceived, and once you perceive them in any shape, form, or fashion, they get vanished into the discard.
Yeah. So here you are. You get an extra lore into play. We get to discard a card. Looks like we're sending Pluto to the discard pile there.
Unhinged amount of
now
space between his
can-
discard and his actual deck.
Yeah, so we're going to establish Nala here. Nala's very good early on in this game. She represents 3 lore. We all of a sudden we have 5 lore in play. Easily can get to 6 lore next turn, fairly uncontested.
Yeah, definitely. And we are kind of looking like, are you going to go ahead and establish the TPO, or are you going to go ahead and just kind of sail and maybe try to like double ramp to get to some things? But unfortunately, Nala is a whole house of a card, being that resist 1 plus gaining 1 lore for like lack of damage, and you're like, there's only 2 strength on her, so yeah, we are going to go for the TPO. Again, that's really, really good with Hypnotic Strength. I don't really see, you know,
Yeah,
a Basil
that's-
coming down and being not... Basil's a little slow
And
at
there
this
it
point.
is. So we actually have the
Oh,
Fire the Cannons
Lord.
here, and this game might be that game that we're talking about. We might just run away with this game because I think there might still be 2 1-cost characters left as well.
Yep.
And even if there isn't, even if it's just this Fire the Cannons and you get to turn off any play to remove our
Yep.
Nala, we get to turn off Mim Elephant, pretty much everything here, gain 5 lore here, and all of a sudden now you're representing another 7 lore next turn.
Yeah,
That's danger zone.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is a completely different deck on the play, especially to last game we saw Jordan play a Basil on 1 and a Tipo on 2. So that meant that there was a guaranteed bounce target for his Madam Min Elephant. And this one is like, okay, we're just sitting here. I love the little tippity-tap table math that he's doing. Like, he's having a conversation, but it's all in his head, but like it all makes sense from here. And we do, so now
That is the weakest 4-cost card we could have played.
I mean, the other one would have banished itself when it came in, and
there it
there's
is.
a dock.
I think we run away with this one.
Yep.
We get super excited. If we want to, we can even quest
Quest,
with
see what you
Aurora,
get.
and we can play Mulan
You can
for
have that,
free,
Genie.
by the way.
Yes, we can. Play the Mulan for free, see what you draw. But
Yeah, here it is, right?
yep, let's just get stuff on board. What's this? Is it
Yeah.
another dock? Who knows? It probably is.
See you later, lady.
Oh, yeah, lady.
It's whatever. We got it all. We don't even need Strength of a Raging Fire in
No.
this game. We're just going to gain all of the lore and say, hey, go ahead, figure it out. I still have just so much here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lore on Sky's turn. And by the way, did I mention that it's turn 4?
Yeah,
turn
I
4.
mean, this is why this is the high roll that you're talking about, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
running, like dock, runner, and like just like end of the game. And I think the main thing that we should really focus on here is, why isn't Nala a princess?
I'm sorry. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. She's a queen.
She's a queen, I suppose. Yes. So she should, if she had her namesake, this deck would be even more disgusting. And
Yeah,
I think
that's probably true.
maybe they identified that. They're like, we can't put these both
Yeah,
in
that's
these.
probably
You know,
a
so
good-
she's an ally.
Good on the dev team
Yeah,
for that one. Okay.
She's an ally, I guess. We will not recognize the union between Nala and Simba just for the sake of this Amber 1-drop.
Hey, I think we're all better for it. So
Yeah, Sky's feeling pretty good, but yeah. So we're doing some more table math here. Again, Dumbo, ain't it? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot we can do here, right? Let's just say, at best, Dumbo can remove Nala, right? And then we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lore in play. That's still enough for that final quest. And even Elsa here gets rid of 1 lore.
We could Into the Unknown
Maybe.
something.
Yeah,
we could also,
like-
there's some.
It's not great. It's not great. It's just not. It's just
Okay, so we are going to Into the Unknown Daisy. We're going to
Yeah,
take the Nala off
so-
the board and buy ourselves one more turn. But this is probably a dock,
Yeah.
and Sky knows it. And he's like, do you want to see my hand or do you want me to just play it? Because
Yeah, here's another Dumbo.
there's another Dumbo. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
God.
we'll get rid of that one. And we're just, by the way, we're not singing that. We're just.
No, of course not, because we're going to
just
use the rest of
playing
our.
it.
Yep, we're
Yeah.
going to. Yeah.
And there it is.
All right, so that was pretty decisive. That was on the play. I think we all kind of expected that. Again, that was very reminiscent of the high roll situation that you were talking about, of like making sure your docs show up at the right time. We didn't even see Tiana that match. We've seen so many princesses and queens, and that is one of the ones that is like remaining a little elusive.
Yeah. And that's, listen, that's it, right? We flipped the coin, right? We flipped the coin. We saw the best version of our deck and the worst version of our deck.
I know. So now let's take some
and
time.
we're hoping for it. We're hoping for it.
Just, it's on time. Let's shuffle. Let's breathe. Let's reset. We're on the draw. We're on the play. We've got, the game 3 is crazy. I always get stressed. I get stressed.
So fortunate today, right? Every one of these rounds that have been on camera today have gone to game 3. They have been filled with drama. Some of the best games, I think, of the weekend have been played so far in top 16 and top 8. And here we are again, hoping for another one here in top 4.
I mean, this is it, right? Like, this is CCQ. Like, if we go to this, we're going to the finals. And one of those people are going to get an invite to the Continental Championship. And
Number 1, first one.
The first one in North America.
Yeah,
that
big
is
deal.
Bananas.
And listen, these are the games, right? This is what we're playing for. And let's be honest, Sky, Jordan here, no stranger. Right? No stranger to this moment. They both have been out there. They both have won big tournaments. And this is it. We are, Clash of Titans, as I say. Right?
I know.
Let's see it.
And the crazy thing is like, we see Sky. Sky is on Maelstrom. He's cool as a cucumber. He's got the likes of,
I don't think I've ever seen Sky sweat.
I know. I was like, he's got the likes of Sailor and like Wonderland and all of these people. And I can know for a fact that Zenulus is back there just pacing, So like, then supporting, and then also with a Snuggly Duckling for Jordan and everybody and all the support. So this is a really, really amazing moment, and just kind of getting into that. Like, we're kind of making history.
Yeah, I mean, this is history. This is the first CCQ. What do you mean we're kind of making it? We are making it.
I mean, we're kind of doing a thing here. I mean, we are like 2 years into Disney Lorcana, and now we're just kind of watching this culmination where we're having PPG come together and partner and be able to get these invites to this highly desirable tournament to eventually, like, I mean, which one of these ones are we going to see at Worlds? We're going to see both of them?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you don't play this well this early on, and obviously, listen, if you can get in, if we can be the first member, you get to be a little more relaxed moving forward. But
I'm stressing myself out with this conversation.
But the skill of both of these players, I think it's very, very fair to say, hey, if it's not today, they will have another opportunity.
Oh,
for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think probably both of these players. I know Sky is definitely going to Milwaukee. I think there's like some unhinged amount of, teams that are going to Bologna and Milwaukee and the Philippines and everywhere.
I might be a member of those unhinged teams going to Bologna, and I'm ecstatic for it.
Oh, my gosh.
But here we are, the shuffle, the altar. I already know that Jordan had the ramp on turn 2 in his hand.
Oh, he would have thrown back the entire deck had he not.
I saw the sale early, so this is it. This is what it's coming down for, and we saw how game 1, how Sky won. It felt like it was a dock.
It was
right?
slow,
It felt like a dock would have been a world of a difference in
even
that
a
particular
Tiana would have
line.
been nice because it would have slowed Jordan down a little bit to maybe potentially draw into the dock. But that's like 32 Tianas sitting right there in the middle.
I see 3 Tianas.
Yeah, that's not good. That's actually bad.
It's kind of tough. It's a little choked up, but we have a Mulan, right? Is that a Mulan there? Maybe not. I'm not sure, actually.
But we
I
do
thought
see
it was.
Sail, Genie, develop your brain so we can go ahead and find our Elsa. We also have Tipo. We have Genie. That's going to get strength. But Dumbo, you got to be. Dumbo's ink, but that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
A couple of those might be ink early. We do have the Elsa already, so we have.
Oh, I see her. There
we
she
have
is.
kind of the one.
Oh God, I thought he was
going
gonna ink
right?
the Elsa. I was like, bro, just run over there really quick and be like, hold on, no, you're gonna need that.
So we can make a choice.
All right, it's the Dumbo.
We have develop on 1 here, I believe. We have the Tipo on 2, and then we can even go Genie into Elsa. Kind of just like manipulate the board safe for ourselves in a little bit of a way.
Yeah, I don't, and that's the thing. And maybe typically on the draw, I don't really like. Yeah, found another elephant. Never punished. But at the same time, yeah, like playing your Genie straight into a strength is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of like, now you see that the Tiana or that 3-drop did not quest for 2. And so then you can follow up your next turn with the Elsa, which we do see in hand. So, and there's the Basil. So are we going to sail and then put the Tipo into the Inkwell? Yeah, I would ink Tipo, play sail, throw down that Basil, watch it get Fire the Cannons, and lose the game.
Yeah, the question is, obviously having that on turn 1 would have been ideal, would have been nice, but it looks like we are going to go for that sail line. And this does gives a little bit more options to the hand. It's the same loss to the Fire the Cannons, but I do think on average the Basil represents a little bit more than the Tipo after it's played.
Yeah, definitely. But now we're looking at our hand and like, well, wait a minute. These are all good cards. Which one am I going to ink off the sail? And that's kind of like the little conundrum you get into with Blurple. And it's going to be, and I completely agree with that because we're going to keep our other 4-drop in hand. It is a Dumbo. There's a potential that this Basil does not make it through his next turn. And then that Mim Elephant, again, looks pretty silly.
Yeah, and we have had several Fire the Cannons early on in games.
Yep.
So, Jordan's aware of it, but I think he just kind of evaluated, hey, if he doesn't have the Fire the Cannons, 2 things can happen. 1, this Basil can challenge this Aurora if it were to quest. 2, it's going to be around. I can pick it up with Elephant. Or 3, I can leave it in play. I can play the Genie. And then all of a sudden, now when I play Elsa, I exert something, it's going to remove anything I want to.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're kind of like a make him have it situation. And Sky's like, do I care? Do I care about that Basil?
This is listen.
This is the thing
I
where
love Sky. I love it. I just love the expression here. He just looks stone cold. Stone cold in the tank, making the decisions.
Here we go.
And there it is. There's Tiana early on. She's a big threat. She can sing next turn already. Lots can happen with this character for sure.
But now if we get that Into the Unknown, and I see it. Yeah, we have the Elsa Into the Unknown. So Tiana, that is basically your answer for this deck. So whatever 4-drop we end up playing here is fine. Probably the Genie because it does have a lot more willpower on it, so it could survive any strength situation because you don't really want to be doing that. And now your strength really only hits 1, so
it's a lot more difficult to have 3 characters in Strength of a Raging Fire.
Yeah.
If that's what happens, it might be the biggest turning point of this game for sure.
Yeah, you would literally have to go triple 1-drops into that, and then you're still going to have your Tiana.
Which is a bit of a worry because we knew that there's at least 2 more Tianas in hand, I think. So it's a little cluttered. Cluttered.
There's a lot of Tianas.
A lot of royalty in that hand.
Yeah, but not the right. But yeah, basically the Into the Unknown with the Elsa is kind of just like our little nuclear bomb that's just sitting in Jordan's hand, and I think maybe Sky's trying to evaluate, like, okay, if this Tiana stays alive, this is how we're going to go things, and like, how do I rebuild after this? So we are just going to go ahead and play another Tiana, and then make you remove it.
Yeah.
So have 2 sets of answers. Oh, yeah, okay. Jordan's like, bruh, I can answer 1, but like, don't do 2 of them.
Yeah. And this is where it gets dangerous.
Yeah.
2 Tianas, that kind of locks the board down quite a bit.
It does, and again, we do see the answer. Like potentially, we can sing Into the Unknown on one of them, and then next turn we have we have the Elsa to kind of exert that. But then that's terrible. But we could throw down a Basil, and we have a Hypnotic Strength if we want to really try to pump that up and get past that point. That's a terrible line, and I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, it's an option.
Well, not only is it an option, it's what we have to work with.
I know.
So right now, you got to make lemonade, right? Like you just got to figure it out.
Does he have every Tiana in his hand? Because I know he had 3.
He had 3 to start. I'm not sure if he had the 4 of a kind. That I'm unaware of.
That would be something. Okay, so we drew. I don't know. Well, we're going to ink the Basil. I just keep seeing the Into the Unknown. I'm like, is there 4 or 5 Into the Unknowns? What just happened?
So interesting there, right? Yes. So he's able to pay for the Genie, and then actually able to remove it there.
Yeah, so very clean answer. Yeah,
makes
absolutely.
the Genie a little bit more manageable here, and he's just like, hey, guess what?
I
got another one. Do we have the Strength of a Raging Fire? Can we really turn the tables on this board now?
I mean, we still, again, 3 Tianas is too many. Like,
okay, so didn't have it there.
No. But, yeah, again, we do still have the Into the Unknown lines set up for us.
I see an Elsa, a Basil. I see a Hades. This is definitely getting a little bit dangerous in this board state now because Tiana is kind of the best way to stop the game and really force a lot of things to happen.
Yeah.
But Jordan, he already has all the answers.
I know. They're all there. We just have to make sure we can get there in the correct order. So we're going to have to use the Elsa Into the Unknown situation here because Sky, in a very heads-up situation, decided, I'm not turning this Tiana sideways. I'm going to make you turn this Tiana sideways. And if you can, you remove her. And when you do, I got another one.
Yeah.
And I potentially have a 4th one because why not? I haven't seen her in the first 2 games, and here she is. She's cooking. So we are going to sit here and another Genie. We decided not to go for that Elsa play. We're going to see what you can do. So we definitely have a restaurant-owning army. So we do go ahead and throw that Basil of 1-drop because that does going to help us with that 2 strength. Potentially if we want to try to pay, we're not going to be able to pay 6 ink for our next 2 Tianas if we so choose to do so. So we're definitely okay, all right. Well, this is the weirdest timeline. We do have all 4 Tianas. One of them, yeah, that's a lot of restaurant owners, and I think that's too many cooks in the kitchen, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, this was a lot of stuff here. Tiana, I made the joke about royalty earlier, and you know, it's almost like a royal flush, but not the one that you want.
Yeah, and I know we have a Hades, we have an Into the Unknown, we do have the Elsa, so like there's a lot of answers here, and I know that is Sky sitting with 1 card in hand, so yeah, that's a lot of cooking, but we do have answers to put out the fire in this kitchen.
Yeah, this is, you know, it's quite, right? Like, we're on 9. We have a lot of lore in play. So this is definitely like saying, hey, Jordan, you know, you got to figure this out, right? You have to answer these cards. Jordan does have answers. So it's really just about up to Jordan here, like, okay, what is the best thing I'm going to do? What is the route to that? And you can see, listen, we're untimed. We can make these choices.
Yeah.
We're playing for a lot of stakes here.
Did we skip ink last turn as well? Because it seems like we're only on 6 ink.
It's very possible that
5
didn't
ink?
happen. It looks like 5 over there.
Oh my gosh.
Unless there's an ink off screen. Tough to say.
Don't hide ink from me. I am sweating. I need to know how this ends. Oh no, we have a Genie, Elsa, Death Gripping into Hades, and we're going to need so we got to ink that elephant. That elephant is gone, my man, because everything else is uninkable, and except for the Into the Unknown, and we need the Into the Unknown.
Yeah, I do agree.
And you also have to get to 7.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, there might have been
fine.
a choice last turn. It does look like there might have been a choice last turn to not ink because he valued the cards in hand, and maybe just wasn't expecting the 3rd or the 4th Tiana. I'm sorry. But hey, listen, Sky's here. He's playing the cards, and he's saying, hey, man, you got to figure this out, Jordan. This is what I'm playing with. This is what I'm doing.
I know.
It's up to you.
He's like, bro, I saw 4 Tianas in my hand and went, this will never work. And so now you're sitting on the board saying, there's 3 Tianas on the board. What do I do? And you know what? It's paying off. It's not paying off. I don't know. But we're going to find out. Okay, we're just going to play 4G. I don't understand. Did we shuffle? Did we shuffle?
Is 4G,
Judge?
4 Tiana? Yeah.
Okay,
this
all
the
right.
game we're playing? Good
All
news.
right.
I mean,
He's
good
like,
news for Sky.
3 Genies. Like, look at him. He's like, I have 3 Genies and you have 3 Tianas.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? That's the first time I've ever seen Sky smile.
This is Azurite Sea at its finest here, right?
Oh my gosh. Why?
Set 6 looking real good right now on stream.
What's wrong with the Elsa? Okay, yeah, you can't keep the elephant. Okay, Into the Unknown. Okay, yeah, let's get one of the cooks out of these kitchens. We got to get out of there.
Yeah.
We're getting up higher ink totals. We're inking. We're going to have to just go ahead and breathe color. I'm talking to myself at this point because
Yeah, and listen, this is it,
let's see
right?
what we get.
Like, this is all
to the
right.
bottom.
We get a miss.
We
See
could
you
have
later.
inked that. Oh
Down
no.
we go.
Okay.
And we're gonna listen. We can go up to 15 here. Sky has a few
15's
cards in hand.
kind of fine. Is it a dock? Oh God, if he
and
has a dock.
like the big deal here, right, is that we don't have a lot of strength in play. Like 1 Tiana sideways still prevents damage from all of these characters. Like there is no challenging going on here. The strength is gone. So even if there is a Hades in hand, we need exactly Hades and Into the Unknown to even be able to remove this Daisy Duck.
Yeah, no, like I said, I am straight panicking because we do see a Pluto come down to do a
my.
bloody gun, so you're going to have to Into the Unknown the Pluto because you don't have enough strength to get through that, and then you're going to be able to have to pay 6 to get through that's insane.
This is it.
Who shuffled these decks?
This might just be it.
I'm
Listen, royalty right here, quad Tiana. It might be enough to take this game.
I bet Jordan wishes he had his 3 wishes back from playing those 3 Genies.
Yeah, there were no wishes fulfilled, for sure. Not
None.
in this one.
No.
And he's in the tank. He's looking at it. He's kind of running through it. He's making sure, like, hey, is there a line? What is even the possible line that we can find here?
All right, so who would win? 3 all-powerful Genies or a restaurant owner with a dog?
Listen, stats are everything in this format. And it's very clear.
We had to ink the Elsa because our life. This is the worst timeline. Oh, we've got like 80.
Oh
my god! Oh my god! Oh my
3
god!
more Hades to go.
Sky takes it. Stop!
Wow.
Oh my gosh! Maelstrom Sky is moving on to the next round. I love how everybody looks at the top of their deck too. Isn't that like wildly unhinged? Oh my god! Congratulations! But also Jordan. Oh, the 3 Hades. Oh my god, that was